Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Alexandra and I'm going to be guiding you through today's power yoga and meditation. Let's get started in child's pose. So bringing the toes together, the heels to touch, and let the sit bones sink down over onto the feet. You can extend the arms out in front of you or bring them down by your side. And then tuning into the breath. Beginning to let go of the day you've had so far. And the days yet to come. Allowing yourself the space and time to be fully present. And according to Patanjali, one of the ways to still the mind and experience peace is through a practice of compassion. And every time we come to our mat to do our asana, our pranayama, or our meditation, is an opportunity to cultivate this compassion, to find an acceptance of the mind and the body where it is, exactly as it is. So as we move through our practice today, I invite you to listen to your internal narrative, your dialogue, to notice when you judge, compare, criticize and analyze your practice. And instead, see if you can begin to use language of compassion, kindness and love. As you inhale, reach the arms forward. And as you exhale, slowly crawl the hands over to the right side of the mat. So you're finding a stretch all the way through the left side of the body. It might feel nice to bring that left hand on top of the right hand, nice. And then gently pull the hands, pressing down through both sit bones, breathing into the left side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, walk your hands over towards the left. So this time breathing into the right side of the body. Maybe noticing how one side feels a little different to the other. Maybe the breath feels a little more open this side, maybe more restricted. Inhale, come back to center. And then make your way to a tabletop position. So you're bringing your shoulders over the hands, the hips over the knees. Your toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever your preference. We'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, soften the belly towards the mat, lift the chest, gaze up at the ceiling. As you exhale, push the hands into the mat, doming through the upper back, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, belly softens, chest lift, heart opens. And exhale, push the mat away, draw the navel in towards the spine, really nice. Take a few more rounds in your own time, moving with the full length of the breath. Feel free to add in any extra movements into the wrists, the shoulders, maybe drawing circles, maybe shifting the weight forwards and backwards. Using this as an opportunity to feel into the body. Get a sense of where the body feels open and spacious, and where the body's feeling tight, restricted. And then coming back to find your neutral spine. Tuck the toes under if they aren't already. And then pressing into the hands, pressing into the toes, hover the feet, hover the knees away from the mat just a few inches. So you feel the inner thighs drawing towards one another, and you feel the core switched on, active and fired. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, lift the hips up and back, coming to find your downward facing dog. Again, feel free to move into your posture, bending one leg, bending the other. Again, just getting a sense of how the body feels. And wherever the body is today, greeting it with a sense of compassion, acceptance. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, slowly tippy-toe yourself all the way to the top of the mat, coming to a ragdoll. So let the feet be hip-width distance apart. Take hold of opposite elbows and sway the body from side to side. Let the head and the neck relax. Nice. Release the hands down to the mat. Feel the connection the feet make with the ground beneath you, engaging through the legs and the core. Slowly begin to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Moving nice and slowly, knowing there's no rush, there's no hurry, there's no destination to get to. Really nice. When you get to the top, let the head and the neck come last, and then inhale the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale down the back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders rise, exhale down. One more, inhaling and exhaling. Bring your hands together at heart center, close the eyes. And if it resonates with you, perhaps using this as an opportunity to set a personal intention for the practice. What is it that brings you here today? What is it that you'd like to manifest or cultivate? We'll seal our collective intention of compassion together. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, side out. Bring your hands to your side. Heel toe the feet together so the toes are touching and there's a little gap between the heels. And as you inhale, float the arms overhead, look to the thumbs. And as you exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward, find your Uttanasana. Inhale, chest lift, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left, coming to your high plank. Take a moment to pause here. Know you can lower the knees if you need a little bit more support. Otherwise, think about finding this long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way out through the soles of the feet. Take an inhale and exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes. Lower the body down to the mat in one straight line. Inhale, finding your baby cobra, elbows hugging into the midline, tops of the feet pressing down. And exhale, finding your child's pose once again. So it goes without saying in all practices that you can come to your child's pose whenever you need. Rest is essential, integral to our health and well-being. So there's no judgment, there's no competition on this mat. Whenever you need a moment to pause, whenever you need to find that breath, know that you can come here whenever you need. Inhale, shift forwards to your tabletop. Exhale, tuck the heels under, downward facing dog. So beginning to think a little bit more about our foundation here. Spread the fingers as wide as you can, and then really pressing down through the fingertips. Spiral the outer armpits towards one another so you're broadening across the upper back. Really nice. Send the tailbone up to the sky as you energize the feet down towards the mat. Knowing that it's okay if they don't touch the ground, and being content knowing that they may never touch the ground. Inhale, lift to the top of the mat. Exhale, step the right, followed by the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, root to rise, look to the thumbs. And exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the chest forwards. And exhale, step the left, followed by the right. Lowering down to your belly. Inhale, finding your baby cobra, elbows squeezing towards the back of the room. And exhale, straight back to your downward facing dog. So lifting from the core, send the hips up and back. And observing the breath as it moves through the body, observing this 3D quality of the breath into the front of the body, side of the body, the back of the body. And letting this breath be a marker for your practice. When the breath becomes strained or forced, when you lose the breath, let it be a sign to ease off, to take rest. Inhale, lift to the top of the mat. Exhale, step the left, followed by the right. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, root to rise, with the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Bend the knees deeply. Come find your Utkatasana chair pose. Sweep the arms overhead. Look down, check that you can see your toes. Bringing the weight in towards the heels. And then lengthening the tailbone down. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And see if you can find the ease within the effort. Take a breath in. And exhale, hands to mat. Fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float to the back of the mat. Option to lower the knees down or move through your Chaturanga Dandasana, your high to low plank. Inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing dog, thighs lifted or baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So know that you can modify your practice at any point, in any way that you need. So even if I'm cueing the Chaturanga Dandasanas and the upward facing dogs, know that you can lower your knees, you can find your cobra, you can even skip it completely, moving straight to your downward facing dog. This is your practice, so let the intelligence of your body guide you. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, folding down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa, step or float to the back of the mat. Your journey, your choice. Meeting together in our downward facing dog. Nice. Step the right foot forward, left heel grounds, rise to your warrior one. Sweep the arms overhead. So think about squaring the hips to the front of the room and then bending deeply into that right leg. Soften the shoulders away from the ears as you ground into the outer edge of that back foot. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step your left foot forward, right heel grounds, find your warrior one. Float the arms overhead. So again, squaring the hips to the front of the room, then energizing through the fingers, finding that steady foundation through the feet. Exhale, hands to mat, flow through your choice of vinyasa. We'll meet together in our downward facing dog. And staying here for 5 breaths. Really spreading the fingers, grounding through the fingertips. Creating space for the head and the neck to relax. Following your breath. As you inhale, lift to the top of the mat. Exhale, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees deeply, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, Uttanasana, hands to mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa, step or float, moving through your choice. Lowering down. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, left heel grounds. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, flow through your vinyasa. Moving with your breath. Not worrying about what anyone else is doing, what your practice looks like. When you're ready, step the left foot forward, right heel grounds. Find your Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands to mat, step back, flow through your vinyasa. Really nice. From here, begin to walk your hands towards the back of the mat. So we're at a forward fold at the back of the mat. Take your 2 peace fingers, interlace them around your 2 big toes. As you inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, fold forwards over the legs. Let the elbows go wide. And let the head and the neck relax. As much as you can, think about bringing the weight in towards the toes, nice adjustments. And then using your inhales to find length. And your exhales to fold a little bit deeper. Release the grip of the toes, walk yourself back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. Rise to your warrior 1, grounding through that back heel. Squaring the hips to the front of the room. Inhale, reach tall through the arms, and as you exhale, open out to your warrior 2. So squaring your hips to the long side of the mat. And then letting your right knee angle out towards the pinky side edge of the mat. Grounding through the outer edge of the left foot. Bending deeply into that front knee, really nice. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And steady your gaze over that middle right finger. Inhale, reverse the warrior, sweep the right arm up and back. Keep your legs exactly as they were. And think about reaching up and then back. So we're keeping length through both sides of the body. And then breathing into the right rib cage. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Step back, flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands, rising to your warrior 1. So remembering the blueprints from our previous variations. And as you exhale, opening out into your warrior 2. So at the same time, the feet are pulling apart from one another. It's almost as if you're ripping the mat apart. But the inner thighs are scissoring towards one another. And then let the hands be super energized. Steadying the gaze. Really nice. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Breathing into the left side of the body. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, foot the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands, this time rising to your high lunge. So stay high on the balls of the back toes. Steady through the feet as you rise the arms overhead. And then draw the navel in towards the spine so you can lengthen the tailbone down. Nice. Coming high onto the balls of the back toes and then energizing the hands and finding that softness within the effort. Bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale, lift through the chest. And exhale, twist your lunge, hooking the left elbow outside the right thigh. Option to lower the back knee down here if you need a little bit more support. Otherwise, think about pressing the left hand into the right so it helps you to open the chest towards the side. And sending that left thigh bone up towards the sky. Lengthen through both sides of the body. Use your inhales to create length and space. And your exhales to twist a little bit deeper. As you exhale, look down at your big right toe. And step to the top of the mat, finding your twisted chair, really nice. Feel free to adjust your posture if you need. Otherwise, sinking the hips down and lengthening from tailbone to the crown of the head. Check down that your knees are in line with one another. Nice adjustments. And then reversing what we just did. So looking down at that right toe. Float the left leg behind you, finding your warrior 3 with your twisted prayer variation. So it's okay if you wobble, it's okay if you fall. So energizing through that lifted leg, sending the heel towards the back of the room and the crown of the head to the front. And then lightly stepping it all the way back, coming back to your twisted crescent lunge. Really nice. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, open out warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, vinyasa, cobble the hands to frame the front foot. Step back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands, rising to your high lunge. So again, finding that foundation, the steady alignment, the connection with the feet and the mat beneath you. Scissoring the inner thighs towards one another, really pressing down through that left front toe mount. Bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, twisting to the left, hooking the right tricep outside the left thigh. Amazing. So remember, you have the option to lower the back knee down. Otherwise, think about finding this line of energy from the sole of the right foot all the way out through the crown of the head. Lengthening through both sides of the body, so engaging through the obliques. And you know where we're going, so look down at that big toe mount. Step to the top of the mat, finding your twisted chair. Amazing. Check that your knees are in line with one another, so drawing the right hip back, the left hip forward. Sorry, other way around. Then bending a little bit deeper into that squat. Amazing. From here, once again, moving into our twisted warrior 3, grounding into that left foot, float the right leg away from the sky. And it really doesn't matter how much you wobble, how high you get the leg, all that matters is your focus, your attitude, your approach. And if you fall out, coming back to the posture from a space of compassion and kindness, stepping that foot all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, high lunge. Exhale, blossom the arms open, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, cuddle the hands to frame the front foot. Step back, lower down, vinyasa. Remember, you can always skip it and come meet in downward facing dog. Amazing. From here, once again, begin to walk yourself all the way towards the back of the mat. This time, bend the knees deeply and step onto the palms of the hands, letting the toes massage the wrist creases. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, folding over the legs. Again, let the elbows go wide. Relax the head, shake the head, nod the head. And again, use that breath to explore the posture a little bit more. When you're ready, release the hands from underneath the feet. Walk yourself back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it outside the right hand, setting up for your lizard variations. So you have the option to keep the back knee lifted, or you can lower it down. And you have the option to stay there or come down onto the elbows. So So there's no right, there's no wrong. Listening to your body, and just because you can do something doesn't mean that you have to do something. And then breathing into wherever you feel the stretch. Relax the head and the neck. Nice. And inhale, lifting yourself back up. Shuffle the right foot over towards the left side of the mat, so you're coming into your pigeon. And our traditional pigeon alignment gets us to put the shin parallel with the front edge of the mat. And for many bodies, that's simply not possible, or it's very uncomfortable. So feel free to draw that foot a little bit closer in towards the body. As you inhale, lift and lengthen through the chest. And as you exhale, slowly, mindfully walk yourself forwards. If you have a block, it can be quite nice to place it underneath the forehead or to make a pillow with the hands. And then again, just letting that breath explore the posture. And often when we come to hold these postures towards the end of our class, our mind can get busy thinking about the days ahead or what to make for dinner, or analysing our practice, wishing that we could be more flexible or stronger, wishing that our practice was somehow different. So just notice if you're using those language, and see if you can shift it up. See if you can begin to start that narrative of kindness and compassion. Begin to walk yourself back up onto your hands. And then shift your weight into the right hip and swing the left leg in front of you so that the sole of the right foot is inside the left thigh. Amazing. Inhale, find length through the spine as you sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, folding over that left leg. Taking hold of whatever you can, your shin, your calf, your ankle, your foot. Knowing it doesn't matter how far you get. Finding an acceptance and contentment of the body exactly where it is. As you inhale, slowly lift yourself back up. Swing the left leg back behind you. Step back to your high plank. And move through your optional vinyasa or shift the hips straight up and back to your downward facing dog. Wherever you are, listening to the intelligence of the body instead of being driven by ego. Inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it outside the left hand, coming into your lizard. Taking the same variation that you found on the other side, so maybe coming down onto that back knee, maybe coming down onto the elbows or finding a block to support the elbows. And it's a really nice place to notice how asymmetrical the bodies are, how one side feels different to the other. And it's a really lovely way to practice this sense of acceptance and compassion, to allow the body to be asymmetrical, to be okay with the body just as it is in each moment. Inhale, lifting yourself back up. Shuffle the left foot over towards the right side of the mat this time, setting up for your pigeon. And taking your time rather than just folding straight down. Find that time to lift the chest, open the heart. And exhale, slowly, mindfully walk yourself forwards. Again, breathing into the sensations. Inhale, lifting yourself back up. This time swinging the right leg in front of you so that the sole of the left foot comes into the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, grow tall through the spine as you reach the arms overhead. And exhale, folding forwards over that right leg. Really nice. Again, taking hold of whatever you can. And noticing as and when the mind wanders. And practice bringing it back into this moment. Finding this breath. Finding the sensations in each posture. As you inhale, lift yourself back up. This time, extend the left leg alongside the right leg, coming into our Paschimotto, our forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, fold forwards. And let this be a real passive fold. So instead of trying to get as far as we can, simply allow the body to cascade over the legs. Maybe placing the hands, palms faced up either side of the legs in a gesture of receiving. And these forward folds are a lovely way to invite our awareness in without feeling the need to judge or analyze anything. Allowing our practice to be exactly as it was. As you inhale, slowly peel yourself up and lower yourself all the way down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Seeing if you can feel each spine as it imprints onto the mat beneath you. Really nice. Feel the core shaking, engaged. Amazing work, guys. When you reach the ground, extend the arms overhead, take a full body stretch. Breathe into the entire body. And over the mouth, let it go. Do that one more time, take a full deep breath. And exhale, sigh it out. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. I'm going to move into one back bend variation. So bring the feet onto the mat, about hip width distance apart. As you inhale, tilt the tailbone and peel away the low, the mid, and the upper back away from the mat, pressing into the hands, coming to find your bridge. Really nice. You can stay here, or you can begin to shuffle the shoulder blades towards one another and interlace the hands behind the small of the back. And see if you can keep a little bit of a space between the chin and the chest. So it's almost as if the chin wants to kiss the chest, and the chest is pulling away as it reaches up towards the sky. And then squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Staying here for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, lower yourself slowly down again, feeling each vertebra imprinting itself onto the mat beneath you. Windshield wipe the legs from side to side, gently releasing out the low back. And the invitation here is to close the eyes and keep the eyes closed for the rest of our practice. Extend the left leg long along the mat and draw the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. And as you exhale, use the left hand to draw the right knee over towards the left as you find a gentle supine twist. Extend the arms out by your side. And if you don't have the space, you can always cactus the arms or reach the right arm up and over. Breathing into the side of the body. Inhale, come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, give yourself a big squeeze. And this time let the right leg go long. Hug the left knee into the chest. Draw it in towards the left armpit as you give it a big squeeze. And then use the right hand to draw the left knee over towards the right. Again, extending the arms wide or overhead. Inhale, come back to center. Give yourself a big squeeze. Make yourself into a tiny little ball. Give yourself a big, grateful hug to this body, to this mind, to this practice. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release into your Shavasana. Let the legs go long, let the arms go wide. And scan through the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Allowing each and every part to soften and relax. And then when you're ready, beginning to bring a little bit of movement into the fingers and the toes. Extending the arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself another little squeeze. Gently rolling over onto your left hand side. Your yin, your feminine energy. In preparation for the meditation, as you slowly bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed. And closing the eyes if by chance they open. In a comfortable seat can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling. You can be sat on a block or a bolster if you have one close to hand. And bringing your awareness to the posture. Feel the connection the sit bones make with the ground or the mat beneath you. And from that support, allow the spine to grow nice and tall. Each vertebra stacking one on top of the other. Draw the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. And let the hands rest comfortably on your lap, on your knees. A slight tuck of the chin to lengthen through the back of the neck, so that the crown of the head can draw towards the sky. So we're finding this posture of meditation that is alert and awake, but at the same time allowing a sense of ease to spread through the body. So softening the furrow lines between the brows. Letting the eyes be like orbs floating in water as you release the muscles around the eyes. Let the jaw hang heavy, loose and limp. Dissolving any tension from the upper, mid and low back. Let go of any gripping, any clenching in the belly. Let the belly be soft. And then feel and welcome in that sense of ease to wash over the hips and the thighs, the knees, the ankles, feet, the toes. Allowing the whole body to soften into this meditation. Draw the awareness to the breath without feeling like you need to force it or control it in any way. Bringing this kind, affectionate awareness to the breath. Notice how the breath breathes itself. Feeling the cool air flowing in through the nostrils. And sensing the warm air against the upper lip. Noticing how the nostrils flare and contract. Or how the air flows through one nostril more than the other. Or maybe you tune into the sound of the breath, soothing and calming like a great ocean wave, ebbing and flowing, rising and falling. Or following the breath on its journey throughout the body, observing the rise and the fall of the shoulders, the lungs expanding and deflating, tuning in once again to that 3D quality of the breath, feeling the breath in the back of the body, the side of the body, the front of the body, feeling the breath in the rib cage and the base of the belly. Bringing this kind, affectionate awareness to the entire body breathing. And it's likely that throughout our practice, your mind will wander. Your mind might be distracted by thoughts of the past, worries about the future. Your mind might be distracted by sounds around you or sensations in the body. And just know this is natural. This is part of the process of meditation. So instead of feeling frustrated or angry that the mind has wandered, see if you can acknowledge it with compassion and gently draw it back into this moment. Draw it back into this breath. I often say a meditation is a practice of 1,000 returns. The mind wanders, we notice, and we bring it back into this present moment. And in time, the mind wanders again. We notice, and we bring it back into this moment. So it really doesn't matter how often the mind wanders or how far the mind wanders. All that matters is as we continue to train the mind in this way, compassionately drawing the awareness back here into this breath right now. And when we view our meditation practice in this way, there can be no such thing as good or bad. It simply is the practice itself. So I'll leave you for a final few moments to observe the breath, this kind affection. And then beginning to expand your awareness back into the body, compassionately scanning through the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, greeting each part of the body with kindness and affection, gratitude for all that it brings. Shift your awareness into the room around you, your surroundings, the sounds, the smells, the feeling of the mat beneath you, the temperature of the air on your skin. Take a few deep breaths, inviting in this energizing air. And let this breath awaken you. Bring your hands together at heart center. Feel the connection of the fingertips, the palms. Bow your head in gratitude of this practice, as I thank you all so much for joining in it with me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope to see you on the mat again soon.